So Coinbase let go of 700 people. It's about 14% of their whole company. And, I don't know all the details, but just looking at the X post that their CEO, I think it's Brian Armstrong, posted, he went over a lot of different points. And yeah, some of them are kind of funny. People are giving them a hard time for having non-engineers ship things to production. And there's another point about single teams of single people. So like you are engineer, designer, product, QA all in one. That's a trend I think is here to stay. I'm seeing that in the industry. I don't think it's going away. And I think anyone who's paying attention knows this. But there's one piece of particular language that he used, which it does have me a bit worried because these big events from these big companies set the precedent for the industry. It's kind of like California with how they vote and the laws they enact. They typically trickle down to the other states, or I guess Florida in the opposite direction. And so Coinbase is sort of paving the path for other companies to adopt the language of intelligence at the center and humans on the outskirts, at the edges. And immediately as a Catholic, this brings up the dignity of work question. And I think there's two big camps. There's the AI is evil and AI is God camp. Both are wrong. I think both are very wrong, but they both get some things right. In the case of this announcement, I do think that they likely have it right, that AI is going to allow more single person teams to do a lot more. And that could be a very good thing. And that's actually like pretty cool. I'm doing that right now as well. You get the opportunity to touch a lot of different things and learn very quickly how to design or engineer, because I'm a product guy by trade. So that's a good thing. However, I think that there's a difference when we're talking about replacing people with AI, what the outcome will be. If that's to replace people so that they have more time freed up to add more value and give back to the company and to the world. But also, we can't forget that work forms us. It gives us purpose, especially as men. And I think, there's definitely a reason why God gave us God gave men punishment, that we were going to work. I mean, to the sweat of our brow as white collar, not really, but you get what I mean. And, we're getting into this dangerous territory of taking away too many jobs from too many people too quickly without foresight about what they're going to do. Sure, some of us can go start doing some side gig or build a little micro empire, fine, but that's not going to be the majority of people. And so what do you do with those people? Because you're not just taking away money, you're taking away the dignity of work. And if one company did this, okay, fine, they can find other jobs. But again, this is going to set precedents for other companies to look and say, they did it, their stock jumped, and they're efficient, which TBD, right? I mean, there's a lot of AI hype, and we'll see what happens to the AI bubble. But it is important to have a healthy dichotomy of opinion here, because you do not want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. AI is unlocking and enabling people like no other. And, I've been doing this for 6 years now. I've seen and I've rode the waves of change. AI is certainly accelerating like crazy in good and bad ways. It's funny that, spinning up an agent to run and do a job for you seems like, oh, that's going to free me up time to go do other things. But then your second thought is immediately, well, why don't I kick off a second agent or a third agent? And now you're managing agents. And I guess in a way, you're already at the edge and the intelligence is in the center. So I guess there's already microcosms of this, but now it's being formalized and used in mass layoff messages. And that's my concern. So use AI to become a more capable person. Be aware that change is coming. Don't fool yourself that this is not going to touch your industry. It doesn't matter if you're a designer at Meta or you are working at the local copy store. It's going to come. Or if you're working at as a parish volunteer. I mean, that's going to be a little bit different, but it's going to come and it's going to change. And I think especially as Catholics, we have an opportunity to once again, because we've done this throughout history, have a theological position on something that sounds like positive progress. Thankfully, there's actually kind of a lot of pushback on this, especially from Gen Z, who I think probably have the best take of anyone on this. They're the most authentic generation, period, in my opinion. But they're also not going to be given a shot to even get in the industry. That's the tough part, because I got the opportunity to join product early. There's no chance that, there's just a very little chance that that's easy now. Because at this point, I am a designer, I'm an engineer, I'm product, I'm doing QA. I can spin up multiple agents to do a job of 4 junior PMs. And that's not a flex, that's just the reality. And so what do you do? So I think take the news with a grain of salt, but read the room. It's coming, unfortunately or fortunately. And what I think is what everyone I talk to is doing. Everyone's starting to do something on the side, not something that's disrupting your whole personal life. You need to have balance, but spinning up an agent, buying a cheap domain, and start making a personal brand. At least that, or go build and solve problems for those who need the help. Because there's going to be I think there's going to be a lot more layoffs. And if we're smart about it and we prepare, we can help those around us. But use AI. Be mindful of the implications of it. Focus on the dignity of the person. We are meant to work. Work cultivates these rich values in us that we're not going to get elsewhere, and gives a sense of purpose to a man, especially if you have kids, to provide. So we cannot get rid of people to save X number of dollars in mass. It's going to crush the human spirit of the West. And so we need to be very careful as we continue down this path, which it will continue to happen. Make no mistake. So yeah, be aware, start building, sharpen your skills, buy a $20 plan on Claude or GPT and just start to build something. That's the best piece of advice I can give if you're looking at this news, if you're just trying to get into the industry. Because everyone's going to be wearing all the hats. And so get in if you can. And if you can't, build as much as you can. Solve problems for people in the community that need help. Your local pastor, your parish probably has a lot of volunteer opportunities that you could solve problems for. Businesses that don't have, the marketing or the website. There are a lot of things that you can do. So be that person, be the guy who can do it all and help those. You see those videos online of people mowing lawns for elderly neighbors who can't afford it, go do that. Like, we need more people to bring back some of the humanity that AI is taking away. And so use it as a good force, because it's going to be a wild ride. Keep your eyes on the news, because I expect more of this to come.